Overview. Welcome to the second and last part of the presentation of the contents or provisions of the terms of service. You may visit this site https://u2.be/j287x_ss8bo to watch video of the first part of its contents or provisions. To continue to gain basic understanding, let us now deal one by one with the substance or summary of the second part of the terms and conditions. 7. Software in Google services. Some of our services include downloadable software. We give you permission to use that software as part of the services. The license we give you for using the Google software is 1. Worldwide, which means that it is valid anywhere in the world. 2. Non-exclusive, which means that we can license the software to others. 3. Royalty-free, which means that there are no fees for this license. 4. Personal, which means that it doesn't extend to anyone else. 5. Non-assignable, which means that you're not allowed to assign the license to anyone else. You may not copy, modify, distribute, sell or lease any part of our services or software. 8. In case of problems or disagreements. By law, you have the right to 1. A certain quality of service, and 2. Ways to fix problems if things go wrong. These terms don't limit or take away any of those rights. 9. Warranty. We provide our services using reasonable skill and care. If we don't meet the quality level described in this warranty, you agree to tell us and we'll work with you to try to resolve the issue. 10. Disclaimers. The only commitments that we make about our services are 1. Described in the warranty section, 2. Stated in the service-specific additional terms, or 3. Provided under applicable laws. We don't make any other commitments about our services. And unless required by law, we don't provide implied warranties, such as the implied warranties of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose and non-infringement. 11. Liabilities. 11a. For all users. These terms only limit our responsibilities as allowed by applicable law. Specifically, these terms don't limit Google's liability for death or personal injury, fraud, fraudulent misrepresentation, gross negligence or willful misconduct. Other than the rights and responsibilities described in this section, in case of problems or disagreements, Google won't be responsible for any other losses, unless they're caused by our breach of these terms or service-specific additional terms. 11b. For business users and organizations only. You'll indemnify Google and its directors, officers, employees and contractors for any third-party legal proceedings arising out of or relating to your unlawful use of the services or violation of these terms or service-specific additional terms. Google won't be responsible for the following liabilities: 1. Loss of profits, revenues, business opportunities, goodwill or anticipated savings. 2. Indirect or consequential loss. 3. Punitive damages. Google's total liability arising out of or relating to these terms is limited to the greater of 1. $500 or 2. 125% of the fees that you paid to use the relevant services in the 12 months before the breach. 12. Taking action in case of problems. Before taking action as described below, we'll provide you with advance notice when reasonably possible, describe the reason for our action and give you an opportunity to fix the problem, unless we reasonably believe that doing so would 1. Cause harm or liability to a user, third party or Google. 2. Violate the law or a legal enforcement authority's order. 3. Compromise an investigation. And 4. Compromise the operation, integrity or security of our services. 12a. Removing your content. If we reasonably believe that any of your content 1. Breaches these terms, service-specific additional terms or policies, 2. Violates applicable law, or 3. Could harm our users, third parties or Google, then we reserve the right to take down some or all of that content in accordance with applicable law. 12b. Suspending or terminating your access to Google services. Google reserves the right to suspend or terminate your access to the services or delete your Google account if any of these things happen. 1. You materially or repeatedly breach these terms, service-specific additional terms or policies. 2. We're required to do so to comply with a legal requirement or a court order. 3. We reasonably believe that your conduct causes harm or liability to a user, third party or Google. If you believe that your Google account has been suspended or terminated in error, you can appeal. Of course, you're always free to stop using our services at any time. If you do stop using a service, we'd appreciate knowing why so that we can continue improving our services. 13. Settling disputes, governing law, and courts. For information about how to contact Google, please visit our contact page. Californian law will govern all disputes arising out of or relating to these terms, service-specific additional terms or any related services, regardless of conflict of laws rules. These disputes will be resolved exclusively in the federal or state courts of Santa Clara County, California, USA, and you and Google consent to personal jurisdiction in those courts. To the extent that applicable local law prevents certain disputes from being resolved in a California court, then you can file those disputes in your local courts. Likewise, if applicable local law prevents your local court from applying California law to resolve these disputes, then these disputes will be governed by the applicable local laws of your country, region or other place of residence. 14. About these terms. Certain rights can't be limited by a contract. These terms are in no way intended to restrict those rights. These terms describe the relationship between you and Google. They don't create any legal rights for other people or organizations, even if others benefit from that relationship under these terms. To make these terms easy to understand, we've used examples from our services. But not all the services mentioned may be available in your country. If these terms conflict with the service-specific additional terms, the additional terms will govern for that service. If a particular term is not valid or enforceable, this will not affect any other terms. If terms or the service-specific additional terms are not followed, and we don't take action right away, that doesn't mean we're giving up any rights that we may have. We may update these terms and service-specific additional terms, 1. To reflect changes in our services or how we do business, 2. For legal, regulatory or security reasons, or 3. To prevent abuse or harm. If there is material change in the terms or service-specific additional terms, reasonable advance notice and the opportunity to review the changes shall be provided, except 1. When we launch a new service or feature, or 2. In urgent situations, such as preventing ongoing abuse or responding to legal requirements. If you don't agree to the new terms, you should remove your content and stop using the services. You can also end your relationship with us at any time by closing your Google account. 15. Definitions. The following terminologies were given definition, but they were no longer included here by the video creator. However, you may visit this site to see their definition. https://policies.google.com/terms?hl equals and-us closing parenthesis. Here they are. Affiliate, business user, consumer, copyright, disclaimer, EU platform to business regulation, indemnify or indemnity, intellectual property rights, IP rights, liability, organization, services, trademark, warranty, your content. Thank you for watching.